All right. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the Universal Design Fast Facts series. My name is Khalil Ikshir. I am the Assistive Technology Specialist. And here with me is Katie Monti. She's our ADA project coordinator.
Good
Today we'll be,
morning.
good morning. Today we'll be covering session 9. And it talks about document structure using ready-made format. Oh, what's that? Let's look at it and see what's that. So by the end of this workshop, let's see. Yeah, you should be able to create a universal design structure for your content, and you'll be able to present your content using the ready-made formats. So what is that ready-made format? Sometimes it's called styles, like in Microsoft Office, and they have really great benefits. So when you use them, and we'll show you some screenshots later on, you'll be able to build, actually they are used to build the structure tree of your document or the outlines. For example, in the right side you'll see a screenshot or a small image that has, let's assume I'm talking about United States of America states. Okay, so that the first title, heading level 1, will take heading level 1 as a title, and then you talk about each state, that would be heading level 2: North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and so forth. Then you probably want to talk about specific city like Charlotte, that would be heading level 3. Then you want to talk about the history of Charlotte, that would be heading level 4. Then you move to another city, for example Raleigh. We'll return back to heading level 3, the same level of Charlotte. Then if you want to go deeper and talk about the history of Raleigh, that would be heading level 4, and so forth. And as you build this structure, the student or the end user who's using a screen reader, probably blind, will start to build this structure in their mind and will help them comprehend the topic and the content more positively, more accurately. So using the styles, you'll be able to specify headings, titles, links, bullet points, and so forth. And as I told you, the screen reader understands these styles, and it will convey the information for the end user. Now, what is screen reader? Screen reader is a software that is used mostly by blind people. They use it to access the computer and maneuver the computer. The screen reader accesses the menus and provides shortcuts to speed up their navigation. So if you look at the second screenshot below a heading list, this is a heading list of our website. So let's assume the website has 100 of pages. Okay, well, a blind will not be able to go line by line, read them line by line. So when you want to provide them with tools or a way to help them speed up the navigation. And to do that, you have to specify what is heading and what is links. And this way they can have a list of heading and they can immediately listen to this heading one by one, or just jump to a specific heading and they click enter and they'll start reading or listening to whatever beneath that heading. And this is how it become accessible. So it will speed their navigation and it will help them just interact with the internet and the content, electronic content, just like a user who has a site. Now, we consider using styles as a universal design approach. When you talk about universal design, you are talking about features that help end users, regardless of their abilities, disability or not ability, and also you as an author. So when you use styles, you can create a table of content. Okay, so the table of content, with a click, it will help immediately look for these headings and build that content for you. And each line of this content, table of content, become a hyperlink to the content. So this is how it become a universal design. And of course, one of the reasons that people do not use style sometimes, because style comes with ready-made font, font type, font size, sometimes colored, like with you all time actually. When you open a new Microsoft Word, it is some type of font, maybe Times New Roman, it used to be, and blue. Just to let you know, this can be changed. So you can adjust styles to meet your demand or demand meets meet a specific requirement, like for example ADA requirements and so forth. Not ADA, I'm sorry. One of the publication requirements like IEEE or on one of these. So I'll move on. So this is a screenshot in for styles in Microsoft Word. Normally you find them in the ribbon. And when you click, you can immediately select heading level 1, heading level 2, or heading level 3. Don't use title. Title will not be transferred to HTML. So it will become confusing. You just stick to one of these heading levels. Um, and of course, you can modify this heading by right clicking and click modify. And you can change the font type, the font color, spacing, paragraph spacing, and so forth. In PowerPoint, it will in PowerPoint it does not depend on titles. In another meaning, you are using a slide, and the slide normally consists of a title, which we see right here, master slide uh, in Microsoft PowerPoint, and a content. Now, to control those, the best way to do that is to go to the master slide. The master slide can be accessed by clicking on the view ribbon, then click slide master. And this will show you, just like in the screenshot here, a list of the master slides that are applied on your slides. Okay, so from there you can go to the first slide, which is at the top. It's like a parent slide, and you change the font, you change the spacing, you add a logo, for example. You don't need, so one of the mistakes people do, for example, they will add a logo to each slide, the real slide, and that is wrong because it will increase the size of your file, so it become heavy. And not only that, then you'll have to visit every slide and add alternative text to this logo. But if you use the master slide and you go only to the slide, the first slide, I'm not sure if there is a tool here, right there. Oh, sorry, my bad. Hold on. There should be annotation tools. Can you see my arrow? Yeah. So write this one. Oh, again. So write the first one here. So if you add a logo, it will be added to the remaining sub slides. And any changes you apply on this slide, it will be applied to the other slides. And this is how you create a master slide. Then when you close the master, there's another icon all the way to the right where it says close master, or you just click on one of these ribbons. You will return back to your own slides, and any changes that were applied on the master will be also applied to your slides. Yeah. So the next, um, now when it comes to Adobe Acrobat, of course you should use Adobe Acrobat Pro. You need to make sure that your file has tags. Tags are hyperlink, which is similar to HTML coding. It identifies the headings and the links. As you can see in the screenshot in the right side, we have heading level 3, a link, some sections, lists, and so forth. So you have to make sure that your your PDF file has tags. And we always tell people that they should start with an accessible document. For example, if you are creating a Word file that you want to convert to PDF, make sure your Word file is accessible first, then convert it to PDF file. And this way you save your time because it is not that easy to fix issues or accessibility issues in a tagged PDF. And normally we cover that in another session. So now, how to check if your PDF file has tags? Simply, you can go to File, Document Properties. And the shortcut is in your Windows operating system, Control D, or Command D in your Apple computer. And when you go there, you go to description tab, and all the way down, you'll see either it is either no or yes. If it is yes, it is mostly accessible. Why I say mostly? Because tags is the element that is used for accessibility, but there could be issues with the accessibility. For example, if I go back here, you'll see heading level 3. So it starts with heading level 3. It should start actually with heading level 1. So these issues need to be fixed. But at least now you have tags to rely on them. This is the point. Um, so I'll move on. Now, in Adobe Acrobat, using the reading order tool, which is part of the accessibility tools in the right side ribbon, you can select items in your document and start fixing. For example, student here, let's assume it is heading level 3, which we saw. If I want to change it to heading level 2, I can click on it, then come to the heading and click heading level 2, and it will become heading level 2. Not only that, using the reading order, you will be able to fix the reading order. We can see in the screenshot here in the right side, we have number 3, number 4, so it is missing number 1. So I can click on this paragraph, and it will become number 1. There's another menu where I can adjust the reading order. But again, we cannot cover everything. We promised that we make this workshops like in 15 minutes. That's why it is more of a demo. Uh, we highly recommend that you attend the 6 hours workshop in the future. And we normally go through those step by step, and we make the PDF accessible.
I was just going to say the same thing, Halil. There's many benefits to the hands-on 6-hour workshop, but I think tags and reading order are two of the most beneficial to be doing on a computer together, so that because it gets a little complicated, and then once you get the hang of it makes sense. But it's just I think these are the trickier parts with PDFs and trying to make them accessible in general. So as Halil said, if you start with a non-PDF document, make it accessible before you turn it into a PDF. That will save you time. But if you have like an old brochure or old documents that the only version you have is PDF, in order to make it accessible, it will require these steps. But practicing it and we're doing it together as a group, we found in the past is pretty helpful.
Yes, thank you. Okay, let's move on. All right, so Google is becoming booming, and people are using Google document. Does it have a style? Yes, it does. So when you open a new Google document, you'll find the styles all the way up. Okay, so you can click, select heading level 1, 2, 3, depend on your topic. Again, we don't recommend using title because title does not convert to HTML. If you convert this file to HTML coding or a PDF file, it is unknown for the PDF. It will just make it bold and large, and it will not be conveyed to the blind. But if you start with heading level 1 and use it only once to represent the document title, that would be a better practice. All right, so let's move on now in Canvas. Also, Canvas has styles. If you open a new Canvas HTML editor, you will find that in the right side, it says paragraph, and it will start with heading level 2. And the reason for that, Canvas team, the developers have enforced heading level 1 on the title. As I mentioned, this is the title of your page, so it should be heading level 1. Then in the body, you start with heading level 2, and so forth. So it is there in the HTML in Canvas. And that actually concludes our workshop. Just remember that styles are used to structure or outline the document, and it should not be used as a design tool. Why is that? Because we found some people, they look at the font type that was prepared. Remember, it is ready-made formats. It was done by the company. So they will look at the size of the font, and they will change the style based on what they see. And that is wrong, because this will end up by jumping from heading, let's say, heading level 2 back to heading level 1, then jumping to heading level 6, then back to heading level 5. And that is wrong. That is very confusing. You are building the structure of your document using the headings. So you should use a proper structure and proper heading levels depend on what you are presenting. So if you don't like the font size and the color and or the type, this can be changed. You change them on the styles and it will be applied in your document. Remember, we talked about universal design. There's another benefit that is not in the slide. Let's assume I am student writing my thesis and I went to my advisor. He said, okay, remove the font in your body. The body is not good. Or I want to change my document from publisher to another publisher. And they use a different type of font. If you are using styles, you simply go to the style and change the font and it will be applied to your document. Just like in slides, we talked about a master slide. If you change anything in the master, it will be applied to your slides. The same idea, if you are using the styles, you change anything in the style, it will be applied to your document. So you don't need to visit line by line or paragraph by paragraph, click on it and change the font type or the spacing or anything. So so it is good to use it. We highly recommend to use it to make your document accessible. Um, so good use of style help build the structure of the document in the student mind. Heading level one represent the title of your document, so or the article. So you should not use it more than one time. Also, do not jump heading levels. So you jump, for example, as I mentioned, you start heading level one, then heading level three, then maybe heading level four, then back to heading level two, with no structure. So remember your heading represent the structure of your document. So make it like as I said. And that is the end of my our workshop here. We are ready for your question and questions if there is any. I'm going to stop the recording at this moment. Just give me a second. Stop recording.